Right, so today I've come across this on a job I was on. Yeah, it's second hand and it's untested, so I don't know if this works, but I think it might. I don't think I've got any idea on how it wires up as of yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Might have to buy a control unit so I can use it off my phone and be able to probably operate it like remotely or whatever. But I'll figure that out and we'll probably document it and do a video on it anyway. Yeah, it's that length is height of it, which is a lot higher than what I need. So that's going to need modification, and so that means we're not going to need all these panels. So what I'll probably end up doing is picking best ones out, because it looks like there's some good ones and then not so good ones. So I'll just have to find if there's any dented ones, or if it's, yeah, you know, I'll be able to sort it. So it looks like these little plastic tray things slide down. No, that bolts to, not actually sure, to be fair. I think that bolts to brickwork. I think first thing is measure it, see if it fits across. I don't think it does. I think it's about 20 off 30 mil. Not 30 mil, 200 mil maybe, 100 mil. Let's measure it and find out. Right, I vaguely remember this, well, it's 5.5 metre from that side to that side. So take away that and that leaves about 4 metre something. I'm not sure, I can't remember off the top of my head. But that door weighs in at 4 meters 100. So yeah, we're going to need to do a bit of maths, and then maybe I don't know, might end up putting a bit of angle iron on the back of here, maybe, I don't know, just to space it out if it's too small. But first things first, so we're going to need to measure it, aren't we, and see. Right, I got a little bit confused, so I went for breakfast, and upon return it looks like that, goes like that, and it looks to me, because that's flush there, and then bolt holes all line up there, so that looks like that's where that's been fitted originally. But that leads me to think that that's on outside. I don't want mine on outside, I want it on inside. I want it to be a neater install, I want it, but looking at it, I ain't got enough head height. I didn't think of that when we were, well, when I was putting that beam in. Didn't think of that at all. All I was thinking was, it were on this height, and we were going to fetch it to there. But then, if I change my forklift or out, it's never going to fit. So it's pointless having all that room up there without being able to fit a door on it. So I should have really, if I'd have had a little bit more brickwork there. Yeah, but I'll govern to what I'm allowed from there to there. So I think that's basically all I can do. I'm going to have to try and budget so that maybe it sits in that area there. Maybe, I don't know how I'm going to do this. This ain't going to work, I don't think. I know I'm going to need to shift that shite, and I've only just put it in. Yeah, make things hard for myself. Right, I think it's oh Wilma, she's blind, bless her. She's going deaf as well. She's struggling now to get about. Well, anyway, I think I've got enough shutter, enough curtain, as whatever they say. That looks like the top piece, and that's obviously the bottom piece. But what I might do is just dig out these ones, because these look like cleaner pieces, more newer. probably less chance of them making much noise when they're going up and down. That one and that one. I might only need them 3, 4 and 5. Yeah, we've got some spares. But like I said, I've worked out that is 4 meters 100 long, and that all is 4 meters 400. So all savvy ones out there that can do maths know that it's a little bit short. I'm hoping I can pack this out a little bit maybe. So if that's to bolt to wherever, I might see about putting some 200mm or 150mm angle iron on back of here, and then just clad it off with a bit of that brown cladding stuff there, you know, like that fascia board up there. So it'll fetch it in about 150mm, it'll be about there, won't it? But that little bit extra might just give me enough headroom to get that roller in, to get the actual shutter in. Right, I've got another plan. Oh, that won't work though, because that needs to be longer. Unless I can keep that. No, I can't keep that in the same place. No, that won't work. Unless I can put a spacer block on here instead and have it rolling round that. But actually, yeah, that might work. That might work actually. Put a packer out or take that box section in off there to fetch it in a little bit. Right, plan is, I've got plenty of shutter, I've got plenty of this metal, so what's stopping me grinding, I don't know, 100mm off, and then having one that length and then other one that length to say, so that's there, and then my next one will be short there, so my next one will be that way, and then I'll just slide an 100mm piece in here. There'll be a gap in it, but will it look daft? How do you do it? Would you do it? Would it look daft? Because I've got plenty of sheet, I've got plenty of this. Oh, 200mm, so you do 100mm on one side, which is about that much. Every other one you'd ever cut in it. Would it look stupid? I think it would, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm in two minds whether to use it, because I actually need, well, I don't need it, but it's nice to have width from there to there. So putting a smaller door on is making it, obviously making my opening smaller. I really don't know what to do with this one. Right, so I'm back here a couple of days later, and I've ordered a plasma cutter off at Amazon. Cut 60D. I went for this one because I don't know naught about plasma cutting, but let me have a look at this. It's got this torch with it, and this torch, apparently you can fire it up. You can fire that up without actually making an arc, so most plasma cutters come like a stick welder, so you've got to like kind of strike it for it to start working. From videos I've seen anyway, from what I've done my own work on. But apparently them style of what I call it, plasma cutters, don't like cutting through painted or rusty steel. So, and I've got rusty steel, so I've tried. That was just a joke, that I had a little go at trying to get through it with grinder. I managed to do that much, and then I blew my grinder up. I know it's only a chip B&Q thing, like just a chip crappy grinder, but it did one cut and then cut out and then burnt out. And then I'm sick of waiting for batteries for my little Makita battery grinder. I think I used 3 batteries just trying to get to there. So yeah, I'm getting a little bit balled off with it. So plan is, I've got this door, and it works out that it's 200mm too small. No, 400mm too small, sorry. So I've got a bit of a gap either side anyway. So, but because it's too small that way, like obviously from lengthways it's too small, it kind of works out alright, because I didn't really think of that when I was doing it, but the head height up here, you need like 350mm above. Well, if it went there, I won't be able to get a door in, because head height's there's no head height at all. So I've lost it. I've lost my opening width, but I've still kept my height. So I'm gonna lose that much either side of my door. It's 200mm, so 8-inch. But it is what it is. And these are my old lintels that wore. So from my house here, that's where garage used to be, and then them lintels were like a little cross thing you had across. But it just weren't high enough and it weren't in a good spot, and yeah, I changed it. So we're gonna give this a go. See if it'll cut that steel. I don't know if it's... Oh yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with this as well. Where is it? They tell you... Oh yeah, I've got to bolt that on. I've got to put that on somehow. It says on Amazon, what they call it. It says on Amazon listing when you're buying this cutter, it says customers also bought this. Which, this is the main reason I bought this cutter for. Because all these cutting heads and stuff like that and all these consumables, they were 15 quid. Right? That says customers bought that machine with them consumables, so it's kind of like a package deal from Amazon, but they don't fit that torch. But the ones that do fit that torch are quite expensive. They're like 45 quid for 3, and I'm like, well, that's the reason I've bought that cutter, because them consumables were cheap. So that's the reason why I picked that one. So now I'm going to argue, well, I'm going to use it, I'm going to do my cutting and everything, and I'm going to argue it toss with Amazon, and I probably might end up sending it back, depending on how good it performs. But it seems like a little bit a scam. Put that up for sale. It's 200 and... I forgot how much I paid for it, 220 quid or something like that. You can get them at like 150 quids and stuff like that, but they're not that arcade start where you can't just pull trigger and it starts cutting. Like I say, it's got to be... It's no good for painted steel or rusty steel, them other ones. From what I've seen anyway, from what I've heard on videos. So from what I've pulled, my information, what I've pulled out on it, I wanted an arcade. That was cheapest arcade. It's 60 amp. Is it 60 amp? Forgot what ampage it is. I think it'll cut 16mm steel, that one. So that's about 12mm. So yeah, I've gone for one that's slightly... It'll come in handy. I'll find plenty more projects for it, because I've got to cut... I've actually got to cut them two down, and then I've got to kind of cut top of that drum sits on. I've got to try and cut this across here, just so that my head height, because that will carry the full drum. The full drum must have worked out about that big, but I'm only using enough for my opening, which works out about that much. So I've rolled it up, got it on mortar, and I figured out that it's got I think that's the tin floor. But it's got like a little ratchet system inside it, so I think it's got like an auto cut-off. So if that comes out of line or out, I think it just drops a little pin into its cam and locks it off. Some sort of safety device, I think. And I think that's what that wire's for. But we'll fathom all wiring out in a bit. We just need to get this cut now, so yeah, let me get set up and we'll have a look. We'll have a little try at first bit of doing plasma. Oh, I've ended up getting this and all. I ain't got a small compressor, believe it or not. I just ain't got a small compressor, so I've ended up borrowing this. We'll see how it performs. And I think that's, is it an Aldi? An Aldi or Lidl? But we'll have to see what happens. Right, let's get started. Right, idea of putting it on wood is plasma cutter causes high frequencies and stuff like that, and I don't want it to arc out onto my body on a forklift and cause problems with my ECUs and my electricals on me, what I call it, on my forklift. So if I just make an insulator and it'll stop it from, yeah, you know.
Yeah, and that way it's getting everything you need at once.
Supplies have arrived. Yes! I think there's somewhere in instructions that'll tell you not to use this. But as long as that you're wary. Wrong way. As long as that you're wary about it and you don't put it over edge, so that you only keep it on the last couple of threads, you'll be alright, I reckon. Oh, it's fun. That don't seem like a convincing fit inside there. I don't feel like it's gone inside enough, but it's holding it. We'll run some air through it and we'll try it, see what happens. This looks like the business end. Looks like the standoff guard. Yeah, that'll come in handy, that. Till you get used to it, maybe. Yeah, that'll come in handy. So this plug's been run over by a car, it looks, or something. A bit bent. Been stood on. Good job it's only a cheap Aldi thing. Would have been all to bend then if it were out else. Yeah, I've got plenty of oil in it. Got a slight leak on that, so I'm just going to fix that real quick. I'm not sure what that's for. Whatever it is, it's broke its seal anyway. So I'm presuming that you can't pull that out. That O-ring looks like it's knackered inside there, and it don't look like you can fix it. Unless you can yeah, you can probably unscrew that end off there, slide that off, put a new O-ring in it. I'll have a look at that. In fact, I'll just put a new end on that. Right, first time turning it on. What's that on 60? That's a 20 amp, 60 amp. Why has it not got no pressure then? Oh, that's got to be working. Getting air. So that's getting air. Oh yeah. So it must cut off, you must have a certain seconds again it started, and then overruns for tips cool your tips down and stuff. So yeah, that's saying 30 psi. Let's see if I can crank it up a bit. Oh yeah, it's working now. Crank it up to max, eh? So it's fairly thick. Oh jeez, getting tight now. It's been cramping my hand actually. So what we're at there? 95. Oh, I think it's about done at 95. We'll leave it at 95 on full ampage. Let's have a look at that. That looks alright. Let's do a bit of, we actually need to cut here, so up to 95 then. I bet it hammers air that. I bet it's quite bad on air. No, that's 100 psi. I ain't read instructions, so I don't know what I'm supposed to be at. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so I don't use it all. If I crank it down to about, I'm going to put it about 90, see how it goes. Right, I'll leave it at 90. let's have a go. This is the first time I've ever done any plasma cutting. I've never ever touched it before. I've never tried it. I've on some videos I've seen online. They say you gotta wear a welding mask or whatever, but and probably some gloves. But I'll fathom that hat in a bit. I'll wear this hat anyway, just in case. Just gonna have a little go at trying to blow that corner off here, and then we'll know how good it cuts. Yeah, you're going to need some gloves. I felt it getting a bit warm up back in my hand. In fact, I felt it warm on my leg as well, so let me just, not ideal. You still want something that's like a welding glove or something, but I don't know where mine's gone. I think some gloves is better than no gloves, innit? That it, want power. I'm gonna blow my power. Right, I think what's happened is I ain't blown my fuse, I ain't blown my power. I must have blown fuse in that extension lead. I don't think it's gonna like power in. That extension lead's not gonna power compressor as well as that, so I'm gonna have to look for another extension lead. Right, all I've done is put compressor into an extension lead and change fuse on one that's on. I might turn that down actually so I don't keep blowing my fuses. I'm going to see if I can cut through it. I'll put it on 50 there, see if I can cut through it at 50. There's something that burns your legs. I don't know if that earth's not doing now. I think I've got some practicing to do. finding it hard to be able to see what I'm doing. See what it's doing, like a grinder. You can see it laid obviously, but this you can't really see much. Let's turn it up a bit because I don't think that will go through. Right, we're on full chat with that now. Why is that compressor not kicking in? I ain't got no clamps neither. Do a clamp now. Blowing fuels again. So, need to fathom this out. Right, I've just turned it down to 45 amp just so that it try and keep some fuels in a decent shape for as long as I can. See, I didn't know if it was a dud earth that was causing it to do that. It could be a bad earth. I don't know. Turned it up to 50 amps because it doesn't look like it's going all the way through. I need a better guide. Dump fuels again at 50 amps, so I might have a go at looking at wiring that wiring extension lead straight into fuse box and putting it on a 40 amp breaker or a 40 amp RCD. It's on a 16 at minute, 16 amp, so if that's 60 amp, I don't know. I might just wire it in. I know this is a no-no and you shouldn't do it, but that's a decent size fuse. Can you see that? That'll not blow. But it's still on an RCD protected board anyway, so even if that doesn't blow and cable gets hot or whatever, it'll blow RCD before it sets any sort of fire, so don't be worried about putting it. Well, I'm not saying do it, but that's what I'm going to do now. I might as well crank it right up to 60 amp now. I've got a proper breaker in it. Right, look at that. So, freehands are not right good to do, a bit awkward to do. Freehanding that and messing about with different settings, not right clever. But when it's on full chat, it's on 60 amp or whatever, that's its cut there. Why is camera doing that? It's obviously done this here because that bit in the middle here, so it's just hitting that and bouncing back up, but I've got a feeling that that might end up knackering tips up. So I'm a bit disappointed that them consumables didn't work with that gun, but I suppose that's a learning curve, innit? Looks like this has been cut with burning torch before, so not too bad. I'm impressed. I'm gonna have a go at cutting it where it needs to be cut now. I don't want to cut it too small. Well, I've just got to get across that line there, and then, oops, just stood on my pipe work, and then I've got to cut this bit. I'm going to cut across there. So that's been done with grinder. That was done with grinder. So basically I've got to cut that there, same again on that one, so it can stand up to there, then I'm going to tack it up there onto that metal bit, weld it up, and I might put a bit of angle iron on bottom here to screw it to the floor, and then bolt it to my brickwork going up there, and then bolt this or tack that to that frame, and then in theory I should be able to have a nice solid door. Yeah, it's too small, but well, you just have to live with it. I'm just going to have to freehand this. like a glove. I'll have to fetch that back a bit so it sits there. And now, but that gives me plenty of room up there anyway, we're cutting that off. So, I need to make my mind up where I'm putting that. Ideally I'd want it tight up to the back of that, so bottom of that work, bottom of that. But, kind of know while that truss isn't where. So, I'm going to have to pull it back to there. Let me have a look, see what track looks like.
Energy rating A multifunction oven was 249 and double cavity was 619 from 11th to 31st of October.
On your radio, on Global Player, and on your smart speaker. Play hard. This is hard. Insulated.
Like that. I've got this to paint or put some cladding over it or something. But I've set my limits. You can set your limits here, look, underneath motor there's two little screws. You just turn them until you get to where your desired thing is. That should be, I think it should be 70mm above, but I've kind of put it up a little bit more just so that it keeps it shut. So when doors shut, because they ain't enough, well, I ain't put enough on it to keep it packed out, so as it comes down, obviously that's getting thinner and thinner, so it's like kind of pulling it away from the top. Ideally it wanted that track on this side, on the side of there, but I can only do with what I've got, and that size just happened to be that size, and I just happened to have these and just did it all for next to note really. I've saved myself about £1,000, maybe about 1,200 quid if I'd have gone a little bit more. I think a roller shutter does about 1,500 quid, so stands me about 500 quid so far. Yeah, something about 500 quid or something, with welding rods and whatever. Probably fixing brackets, about 500 quid, and then a day's worth of time. But it's been a learning curve and it's something I've enjoyed doing, so I've just about got enough head height there, just so it's not touching in that corner. So in theory, if it would have gone a little bit wider, if it had gone to where I wanted it to, if it had gone to here, I wouldn't have had enough head height. It wouldn't have, so really that's probably bang on. It needed to be there, because if it had gone any more, it wouldn't have, well, wouldn't have fitted, I don't think. But I might, I don't know if that's going to pick it up, I might just run a tacker weld under that box section in there to this girder to strengthen that up a bit. I ain't really watched it, to be fair. That's some sort of automatic brake, that. I think we need them in law. Something to do with like a law or something that you've got to have an automatic brake, but I'm gonna just run it with heart. I'm well aware at risk that it's gonna do. I know that when that comes off angle, if it twists, there's like a pin that drops inside and it locks the ratchet. So it so if it does jolt or it does twist, it'll lock off there anyway without having motor, without having electric. So I think I'm going to save them extra panels, because I'm not the best forklift driver in the world, so I have my unit doors before with forklifts, so that's why I've kind of got it so it's fully out of the way. Oh well, I'm more than likely going to hit it, I know I will. That's why I didn't like the idea of this reveal. I wanted to do it so it were all the way back, but that steel wouldn't have sat on out. I wanted that steel, so that steel sits to about here somewhere. So that L-shaped steel has got something to sit on. Whereas if it had finished here, it would have only been a brick wide, and then it wouldn't have had note to sit on. So, but now I've got that there. Oh yeah, I've added this. I don't think I filmed it. My welding's not the best. I'm not a welder, I'm a sandblaster, and I didn't quite whack that down right with hammer, but all I've done is tack that, knock that into the floor. That'll stop that bottom from moving about, and I've put one there. Oh, and I cut this too small, that's why I've had to raise it up, and I've just put a bit of weld on it. It does job, and all I've done there is fastened it with them tech screws, just to keep that on. Yeah, I think that's about it for this video, isn't it? I was gonna keep it all on the same video, but I can't be bothered, to be fair. I might just get some of this pattern on that there. I don't know if you can see it. That oak plastic stuff. Put that down there along, cover that up, and don't even have to paint it. I'll not have to deal with it ever again. It's not going to rot in my lifetime, not that thick. That's not going to rot away, that's galvanised. That one at the top, maybe. I'll risk it, see what happens. I don't think I need to paint it. Well, alright, I need to get...
To make sure tires like me are inflated to our fuel-saving best.
So all I've done here is
perfectly inflated.
neutral to neutral.
Thoughtful driving.
Obviously there's an earth to go to earth, but for testing purposes I just needed to do it like this. So that's up and brown's down. So now I need to make, I'll try and do something now. Let me just turn this down a bit.
Contactless MasterCard and cashback available on both.
What I'm going to do now is just make a, I don't know, an automated switch or something that connects to Amazon, and I don't know, probably a light switch or something, I don't know, because motor cuts out anyway when it's gone fully up, so I could probably just have it on a switch where I can switch it to go up and then I can hit it switch to come down. But only problem with that is I need to be able to kill power to up if I'm putting power to down. So if whichever one I send power to, I need to be able to knock it off like a relay, but I still want to be able to do it like I don't know, so Amazon up and garage doer, and then do it that way. Well, that's plan anyway. So that's next project, trying to figure out how to wire it up without buying one of them boxes, because they're quite expensive for roller shutter doer boxes, like a control panel thing for it. Might be talking 200-300 quid just for control unit, whereas a smart switch it does the same sort of thing, I reckon, as long as I can program it so that one turns off as other one turns on. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this, to be fair. Oh, anyway, what else am I doing? Oh yeah, that plasma cutter, I'm not sponsored, I ain't got any money for doing it, nobody's told me to use it, it's just something I've bought with my own money and I thought I'd give it a go. And to be fair, it deserves a place on shelf along with welder. I'm not a good welder and I'm not a good plasma cutter, but yeah, it's definitely a decent bit of kit, like just for an hobbyist or whatever. I don't know, it might be professional use, I'm not sure. I doubt it, not with a name like Yes Welder, but it seems to be alright, it seems to do the job. Even this little Parkside Aldi thing, that's I borrowed this. I'm impressed. I'd probably buy one of them because it's a nice little compact thing. Gets up to 120 psi. I've blown my back tyres up. I ain't touched them front, so I'm going to leave them. They're at 75 and I put 100 in back, because back does look a bit low when it's rolling. Now it's on 100, I ain't moved it, so I don't really know, but it should be alright with 100 in. Next thing, oh yeah, next project is put some electric and some lights in, because running extension leads in front garage, front house, it's dropping winter now and it's pretty cold, so having to leave a little window open so I can run my cables through. So I think that's going to be the next project. Put a couple of like a consumer unit here maybe, wire my door up to it, and I don't want no socket saw out down there because that's just going to be full of sand. So sand's probably going to come up to about halfway, just enough to keep forklift in, and just pack it out with sand. So I should get 1, 2, 3, 4 pallets across, 1, 2, 3 pallets high, maybe 4 in middle. So 3 pallets up insides, 3, maybe 4, so 2 4s, a 3 and a 3, and then another row here maybe, and then probably a couple more downside tucked to here. So I can order a full wagon full, because you pay for delivery, so delivery is the same price regardless if you put 10 ton on it or 15 ton. You might as well fill it up and get 28 ton on it. So that's what this was designed for. I designed it so that I could get 28 ton in here at a time. But what I didn't really think about is I never end up running down to 0 anyway before I put my next order in. So I might have like 4 ton left in here before I stick another 28 ton order in. So really it should have been a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. I'll tell you something though, that wagon, that hammer's AdBlue. Really bad on AdBlue. Bad on diesel and bad on AdBlue. That thing's mint. Just put diesel in it, turn key and away you go. That thing, AdBlue, diesel, yeah, greedy. Right, hope you've enjoyed it. We'll catch you up next time. Only other problem I've got now is this gap here. Could do with dropping some acid etch on it and then some colour. Probably do it black or grey or something. Maybe grey, keep it the same colour as that stuff. Just looks a little bit industrial if I'd done it like that. I'm not, I don't really want it to look industrial, but on camera them two panels here look pretty bad, or they look a different colour, a lot different colour, but in person you can't really see that, to be fair. I just think it's shadowing on camera. I don't know how it's doing it. It's just slightly off colour. It is off colour like, but like I say, I'm probably likely to hit it with forklift anyway, so I'll end up changing them.